Your entire life can change when you get ripped. The way you walk into a room changes, the way your clothes fit change, the way people respond to you also change. But more importantly, the way you see yourself changes. Because every time you look in the mirror, you see proof that you can set a difficult goal, follow the plan, and finish what you started. But most people never get there. Not because they have terrible genetics, not because they are too old, and not because getting ripped requires 2-hour workouts and eating chicken and broccoli 6 times per day. Most people never get ripped because they are guessing. They do not know their real starting point. They do not have a clearly defined destination. They do not know how many calories or how much protein they actually need. And even when they find a decent plan, they do not track whether they actually follow it. In this video, I'm going to eliminate that guesswork. I'm going to break down the exact 5-step system you can use to go from where you are right now to having visible abs, lower body fat, and the best shape of your life. Stay until the end because I'm going to show you how to calculate your starting point and generate your personalized fat loss plan in approximately 2 minutes. No complicated spreadsheets, no random online calculators giving you 5 different answers. No wasting 3 months following a plan that was wrong from the beginning. Let's get into it. The first step is knowing exactly where you are standing. This sounds obvious, but most people skip it completely. Ask the average man how much he needs to lose, and he will say something like, I probably need to lose around 10 kilos. Based on what? A feeling? A number you weighted 10 years ago? The weight of somebody you follow on Instagram? This is not a calculation. That is a guess. Your body weight alone does not tell us enough. 2 men can both weigh 90 kilograms and look completely different. One might have 70 kilograms of lean mass and 20 kilograms of fat. The other might have 78 kilograms of lean mass and only 12 kilograms of fat. They weigh exactly the same, but they do not need the same calories, the same timeline, or the same target body weight. You need to know your basic numbers. Your current body weight, your estimated body fat percentage, your estimated lean mass, and approximate amount of fat you have to lose. Let's use a simple example. Imagine a man weighs 100 kilograms at approximately 25% body fat. That means roughly 25 kilograms of his current body weight is fat mass. The remaining 75 kilograms is lean mass, which includes muscle, organs, bones, water, and other fat-free tissue. Now imagine he wants to reach approximately 12% body fat while preserving most of his lean mass. We can estimate his target weight by dividing his lean mass by the percentage of body weight that would be lean at his target. At 12% body fat, approximately 88% of his body weight would be lean mass. So 75 divided by 0.88 gives us approximately 85 kilograms. That means his estimated target is not 95 kilograms. It is not 90 kilograms. It is somewhere around 85 kilograms, assuming he preserves most of his lean mass during the cut. Now he has a real target. He understands that he may need to lose approximately 15 kilograms of total body weight to reach the condition he wants. Will that precision be perfect? No. Body fat measurements always contain some margin of error. Water changes, glycogen changes, digestion changes. You may gain or lose some lean tissue during the process, but an intelligent estimate is infinitely more useful than blindly saying, I just want to lose some belly fat. Fat loss is governed by energy balance. To lose stored body fat, you need to expend more energy than you consume over time. You may have heard that 1 pound of fat represents approximately 3,500 calories. 1 pound of fat. That can be useful as a rough planning tool. A weekly deficit of approximately 3,500 calories would theoretically equal around 1 pound of weight loss. And if you want 2 pounds, a weekly deficit of 7,000 calories would equal around 2 pounds. So if you go for 1 pound loss, that would average roughly 500 calories per day to lose that 1 pound per week. Or if you want to lose 2 pounds, this is gonna be 1,000 calories per day. But understand this, human beings are not static calculators. As you lose weight, your energy expenditure changes. Your body may hold or release water. Your hunger may increase. You may unconsciously move less. That means the 3,500 calorie rule is a good starting estimate, but it is not a guarantee that the scale will move in a perfectly straight line. So we calculate the starting plan. Then we watch the trend and adjust using real data. But none of this is possible when you do not know the starting point. Once you know where you are, you need to decide where you are going. And this is where most people become weak and wake. They say, I want to lose some weight. I want to get a little bit more toned. I want to feel better. I want to feel fitter. I want to lose this belly. This is not a target. Those are all wishes, and your goal needs to be so clear that a 4-year-old child could understand whether you achieved it. If you would tell a child, my goal is to improve my body composition and become more toned, the child has no idea what you mean. Honestly, you probably do not know what you mean either. But imagine saying, my goal is to reach 85 kilograms on the scale, have visible abdominal muscles, and fit comfortably into a 32-inch waist. This is clear. You either achieved it or you didn't. Your target might be reaching 12% of body fat. Seeing all 6-pack abdominal muscles, they appear at this level. Could be reaching a specific waist measurement, returning to the body weight you had when you was previously lean, losing 15 kilograms while preserving your strength, or building 5 kilograms of muscle after completing your fat loss phase. Choose a result that actually excites you. Do not create a small goal because you're afraid of failing at a big one. When you're going to invest time, effort, discipline into this transformation, you might as well build a physique that makes you proud. Ask yourself, what would the best shape of my life actually look like? What would I weigh? What would my waist measure? How lean would I be? How would my shoulders, my chest, my arms look? What clothes would I be able to wear? And how would I know with zero ambiguity that I have completed this goal? What you also need is a realistic deadline. If you have 15 kilos to lose, expecting to finish it in 4 weeks is not ambition, it is stupidity. That kind of deadline forces you into an unnecessary aggressive deficit. It would increase hunger too much, damage training performance, and it makes it harder to preserve muscle mass. For many people, losing roughly half to 1% of body weight per week is a more manageable starting range. Someone carrying significantly more body fat may initially lose faster. Someone who is already lean will usually need to move more slowly. So your timeline must reflect your current condition, not your impatience. And once you know your starting point and your destination, we can build a bridge between them. Now we need to turn your goal into numbers. This is where people usually open 5 different calorie calculators and get 5 different answers. One calculator says 2100 calories, another says 2700 calories, another says 3000 calories. Then you become confused. Choose a random number and hope for the best. I wanted to remove that problem. That's why I created a physique code. So you enter your basic information, you enter your age, your height, your current weight, your activity level, your training schedule, you enter your goal, and you upload a clear physique photograph. Then the system analyzes your information, it provides you an estimated body fat range and calculates a personalized starting plan. And I want to be clear with the word estimated. A photograph might be not the same as medical scan, but even clinical body composition methods contains measurement error. But in this age, you don't need a laboratory perfect number to begin making progress. You need a useful starting estimate, a well-calculated plan, and a method for adjusting that plan based on your results. Inside the physique code, you will receive your estimated current body fat percentage, your estimated lean body mass, your potential target body weight, the approximate amount of weight you need to lose, a realistic transformation timeline, your starting calorie target, your daily protein target, your carbohydrate and fat targets, your recommended step targets, and your training structure. Now I'm going to show you exactly how the physique code works. First, you enter your basic details. Let's say you're 35. Continue. Above, you can choose feet and inches or metric. I'm in Amsterdam, I'm using metrics, I put how tall I am. Continue. Then, the current weight. My weight is 90. Continue. What results do you want the most? Here you can choose. The thing is, if you have belly, I would always go to one of the 4 options: lose belly fat, reveal visible abs, get completely shredded, or just look lean and athletic. And if you're skinny, you ain't got no belly, you can go for build lean muscle. Alright. So I choose shredded. And this is optional, but you can enter your goal weight. It asks you if you have a goal weight in mind. Again, this is like dummy data. I'm already shredded, but let's say I want to go until 85, 5 kilo down, and now is the time to upload a photo. You have to mark this one, confirmation that you are 18 or older, have permission to upload this recent photo, and agree to its temporary use for generating your physique estimate. What happens? I don't see the photo, nobody sees it, AI scans it, gives you result. Then you upload your photo. I have this photo, it was took yesterday. Here it is. By the way, if you want more tips from me to get straight into your email, you can check this mark of send me BPLE training, nutrition and transformation tips by me email. By email I send the best value. Now we press decode my physique. Watch it. Alright, I've got 10% body fat, estimated fat mass is 9 kilograms, lean mass 81 kilograms. Get completely shredded, I would go to 7 till 9% of body fat. And target weight range would be from 87 until 89. And now you go into build my exact plan 3. It's gonna ask you what does most of your day look like. Are you mostly sitting? Do you move a little bit? Do you have physical work? Are you active? I'm gonna choose that. I have some light movement. I'm gonna choose that I do at least 7,000 steps per day, 7 till 10. Strength workouts per week. Here you can choose how many times you want to work out. Your training plan gonna be adjusted with that. I'm gonna choose 4 days per week. And this is important part as well. How long have you trained consistently? Because from that, it's gonna depend how fast you can gain muscle, for example, lose fat. So I'm gonna choose advanced. And here we are. At this phase, you can choose your exact macro distribution. So calories and protein are finalized from your measurements, goal and activity. Adjust only how the remaining calories are shared between carbohydrates and fats. So if you want to go into like keto version, and I suggest you doing that if you are sitting the most of the day and you want to shred fat fast, you can go for lower carbs. As you see, when you move the slide, your carbohydrates and fats amount changes. And if you are somebody who just cannot say no to carbs or it fits you better, you can go for carbs. To be honest, it doesn't matter for me if you choose eating more fats or carbs, because your calories are locked, your protein is locked, and you only make that adjustment. What I suggest to people who want to stay sharp throughout the day, to do more deep work, maybe they are sitting behind the desk, they want not to feel bloated in the belly, eat healthy fats and keep carbohydrates to minimum. And if you're somebody really active, training a lot, and you want really to maximize potential muscle gain, you don't care about feeling more bloated in the belly from carbohydrates, go for higher carbs. So what I do, I'm gonna choose in a day, I get like 100 grams of carbohydrates, let's say 95. It's still lower carb, so I follow like keto, but before workout, the last meal I have extra carbs, like 50 grams. Alright, now we go into macro distribution. Continue. Now you can choose as well how long your training sessions should be. It's gonna generate a training plan. I train for 45 minutes, most of the time not longer. Sometimes I go for 30 minutes supersets. Alright, let's go for 40. Now how many days per week? Again, you can adjust that. Equipment access. If you have full gym, if you have dumbbells, bench, minimal body weight, I'm gonna choose dumbbells and bench. Physique priority, which muscle groups you want to improve the most? For most men, it's gonna be chest. And it's gonna ask you as well pain-free training today, and you're gonna choose if you want normal exercise menu or some favor stable options. I choose the normal one. Okay, we go to building the plan. As you see, you still can choose the metrics. So for me to get completely shredded, next target is to lose approximately either 4.3 pounds or 2 kilograms. Now the whole thing is you get all the data, and here you can also see the nutrition. This is what you chosen. You have a meal plan, you have suggested products that's gonna help you to get those numbers. You get a training plan done for you. So this is gonna be upper lower upper lower. I love this plan. If you want to change setup, you can do that here. You get the roadmap. This is in weeks, 4 phases. The safest way is 7 to 8 weeks, and that's keeping in mind that I want to preserve all the muscle mass I have. And here are the targets. Your starting point is now 90 kilos, fat mass 9 kilo, lean mass 81, high confidence visual estimate. This is about the photo you uploaded, how good of a quality the photo was, and how confident AI is about the estimate. So this is high confidence. This was good photo. To get completely shredded into 8% body fat, I would need to lose 2 kilos. Execution target. So basically you get everything you need. The biggest problem in fat loss, not knowing what to do. But having the plan is not enough. You still need to understand why the nutrition targets are structured the way they are. Your diet controls whether you consistently create the energy deficit required to lose fat. The whole thing is you can't perform the greatest workouts in the world But if you're repeatedly consuming more energy than you can expend, you're not going to reveal your abs. The two numbers to lock in first are calories and protein. Your calories determine the size of your plant deficit. Your protein helps preserve that lean muscle mass. Protein supports recovery, improves satiety, and it has the highest thermic effect of the three major macronutrients. The thermic effect of food is the energy your body uses to digest, absorb, and process the foods that you're eating. And not every calorie requires the same amount of work to process. I give you an example. Dietary fat has the lowest thermic effect. For every 100 calories consumed from fat, the body may expend approximately 0 to 3 calories processing it. Now, carbohydrates have a moderate thermic effect. For every 100 calories consumed from carbohydrates, the body may expend roughly 5 to 15 calories processing them. And the exact amount can change depending on the food and circumstances. But protein has the highest thermic effect. For every 100 calories consumed from protein, your body may expend approximately 20 to 30 calories digesting, absorbing, and processing it. So around 20-30% of calories. That does not mean that protein calories magically disappear. What it means, protein requires substantially more metabolic work to process than some carbohydrates. Why? First, your digestive system have to break proteins down into amino acids. Those amino acids must then be absorbed and transformed. Your body uses them for protein synthesis, tissue repair, enzymes, hormones, and other functions. Amino acids that are not used for protein building purposes cannot simply be stored in the same direct way as dietary fat. Their nitrogen component must be removed and processed. That includes conversion into urea or excretion. All of this requires energy. Protein also tends to be more satiating than an equivalent amount of calories that are coming from mainly highly processed foods. That makes it easier to finish a meal feeling satisfied and remain full for longer. This is why I do not want you simply chasing the lowest possible calorie number. I want you building your diet around enough protein to support your physique. So your plan might include eggs, chicken, lean beef, fish, Greek yogurt, whey protein shake, best if it's isolated, or whichever high-quality protein sources fit your preferences and your digestion. And once calories and protein are established, you can distribute the remaining calories between fats and carbohydrates. This is where personal preference, activity, and adherence matters. So running the code again, if you want to go for lower carbohydrate option, suppose you are relatively sedentary, you work at a desk, you run a business, you do not perform high volume endurance training every day, and you notice that large carbohydrate meals, they leave you hungry more frequently, they leave you sleepy after lunch, or you are constantly looking for snacks. In this way, you may prefer a lower carbohydrate, higher fat setup. And inside the physique code, you can move the preference slider towards fewer carbohydrates. If you consistently consume around 50 grams of carbohydrates, or even fewer, you also may enter in nutritional ketosis. Although the exact threshold differs between people, some people report better appetite control, more stable energy, or improved concentration when following a low carbohydrate structure. But do not misunderstand me, ketosis does not break the laws of energy balance. You do not automatically burn more body fat simply because you removed bread and rice. A ketogenic diet works when it helps you control your food intake. So the thing is, you hit your protein target and you maintain calorie deficits. But if you're still gonna be eating unlimited cheese, butter, nuts, and oils, you can still completely erase your deficit. So low carbohydrates does not mean unlimited calories. And on the other side, if you wanna go for a higher carb option, let's say you lift 4 or 5 times per week. Let's say you do some boxing or cycling or you are running or perform physical demanding work, or perhaps you simply enjoy eating carbohydrates and you know that you can control your intake. You may perform and adhere better with more carbohydrates. In that case, move the preference slider towards the higher carbohydrate option. You can place more of those carbohydrates around training to support performance and recovery. Think of rice, potatoes, oats, can be some fruit if it's just before training, or you can have some bread, some pasta. If you're training at 4, I would go for 12 p.m. lunch with carbs and just boost those carbs. And these foods are not automatically making you fat. What happens is repeatedly exceeding your energy needs is what causes fat gain over time. Do not turn carbohydrates and fats into a religion. Choose the structure that allows you to control calories. You hit your protein, train effectively, and manage your hunger, and remain consistent. For some people, that will be lower carbohydrates. For others, this is gonna be higher carbohydrates. I care about the results, not about winning an argument on the internet. But for me, what works best, for the whole day, I go with fats, and the meal around 4 hours before training, I load up some carbs. That's why my numbers are 100 grams of total carbs per day, and 50 grams of that is carb load before training. And I always make sure I burn them out throughout the training. This is carb timing advantage, the system I use and help people to implement. But we are not getting into this now. Next, we're going to step 5. We're gonna execute, we're gonna track, and we're gonna adjust. Now you know your starting point, you know your destination. You have calculated the numbers, and you have selected a nutritional structure you can actually follow. The final step is execution. This is the step where almost everybody fails. Not because the plan is complicated, but because consistency is boring. People love calculating their calories, downloading a program, buying new supplements, planning the perfect Monday, but after 10 days they stop tracking. Then their portions slowly increase. A tablespoon of peanut butter becomes 3. One handful of nuts becomes half the bag. A relaxed weekend becomes Friday night through Sunday evening. And somehow they still believe they are following the plan. You are not following the plan because you remember choosing the healthy option. You are following the plan when the data says that you are following it. So about tracking, my preferred method is MyFitnessPal. You log your meals, you track the amounts, you learn the calories and macronutrients in the foods you eat repeatedly, and you do not need to track every gram for the rest of your life. You learn that. But when you are pursuing a specific transformation, tracking gives you awareness and accountability. It allows you to look back and ask, did I hit my calories? Did I hit my protein? How many days did I actually follow the plan? Was my weekend intake higher than I remembered? Did my body weight change as expected? Without the data, you are relying on memory, and human memory is extremely convenient when snacks are involved. What you can also do, you can use AI-assisted food log instead of MyFitnessPal. So for example, you can photograph your meal. I would go for audio description saying the ingredients and quantities that went in that meal. And I would have an AI system estimate the calories and macros. This is another way. This might make tracking faster, but understand the limitation. A photograph cannot see exactly how much oil was used. It cannot always distinguish between lean and fatty cuts of meat. It cannot know whether a sauce contains 50 calories or 400 calories. So we use image-based tracking as an estimate for the greatest accuracy, weight, calorie, dense ingredients, and enter the actual amounts. This is very important. If you would like the prompt and setup for AI-assisted meal tracking, message me the word tracking on Instagram and I'll send it to you. Now what you want to do, track the right outcomes. Do not judge the plan from one weight in. You're gonna be tracking leading indicators. Your body weight can fluctuate because of water, sodium, carbohydrate intake, digestive contents, stress, sleep, and inflammation from training. So a lot of people would be weighting themselves and really get emotionally involved in the number on the scale every day. So what I suggest you to do is weight yourself under similar conditions several times per week. So ideally weight yourself in the morning after using a bathroom, get some coffee, push it out, check the weight. And best if it's before drinking or eating. If that's small coffee, it's cool. And then what you want to do, you take your weekly average. You don't look just day to day, you look to weekly average. This is really important, guys. And then you compare one weekly average against the next. Another way of tracking is also your waist measurement. So you can do that with progress photographs. You can do that with your gym performance, sets, reps, weight used for the exercises. You see how you're progressing. You can track daily steps. These are the leading indicators. And just number on the scale every day is like a lagging indicator. You want to take the the estimate of it. And of course, we are tracking adherence to calories and protein. So if your average weight is dropping at the expected rate and your strength is relatively stable, then the plan is working. Do not change it because you had one heavy morning. If your weight has not moved for 2 or 3 weeks and your adherence has generally been high, then make a calculated adjustment again. Reduce calories slightly, increase steps, or tighten the accuracy of your tracking. This is important. You want to tighten the accuracy of your tracking. And do not panic and cut 1000 calories for overnight. You want to go for small, intelligent adjustments instead of some emotional decisions. The next thing, you want to train to keep or build muscle. The physique code also gives you a training plan. Follow it. During a fat loss phase, your training is not primarily there to burn as many calories as possible. Your training, what it does, it tells your body this muscle is still required. Continue lifting with progression and intent and focus on strong fundamental movements. Think of presses, think of rows, think of squats or leg presses, some hip hinges if you like doing them. Go for pull-ups or pull-downs if you're too heavy to do pull-ups. Go for some direct work for your shoulders, for your arms, for your hamstrings, especially if knees health is important to you. And train those abdominal muscles. You do not need to destroy yourself in 2 hours at the gym. The whole thing is 3 to 5 focused resistance training sessions per week can produce excellent results when the program matches your experience and your schedule. Then you're using your daily movement to support the calorie deficit. So best is to go for a walk. You set for yourself a step target. If you got to take calls on your phone, take calls while moving. If you have elevator or stairs, use the stairs. After having a bigger meal, go outside for a short walk. Movement is one of the easiest levers to adjust because it increases expenditure without requiring another brutal workout. The diet creates the deficit. Your protein and resistance training, they help to protect the physique underneath. And daily movement, this increases expenditure. And tracking tells you whether the entire system is working. This is the formula. Now, the real reason people fail. Listen, at this point, you have everything you need. You know the 5 steps. Number 1, what we did, we established your starting point. Number 2, we defined your exact result. Number 3, we calculated your personalized plan. While doing that, you controlled your calories, you prioritize protein, and you choose a carbohydrate to fat balance that you can sustain. And number 5 is execution, tracking, and adjustments. That's enough information to transform your physique. But information is rarely the real problem. The real problem is accountability. Most people already know that protein is better than some biscuits. They know walking is better than sitting all day. They know that one takeaway does not help them reach visible abs. But simply knowing and executing are 2 different skills. When you work alone, it is easy to negotiate with yourself. You miss one workout, you stop tracking for 1 weekend, you tell yourself you will restart on Monday, then 1 week becomes 1 month. And this is why the method I use with my coaching clients is not simply, here is your meal plan, good luck. What we do, we build a plan together. We track the important numbers. I can see whether they are hitting their calories and macros. I can see whether they completed their training. I can see whether their steps are on target. And if progress stalls, we do not guess. We look at the data and we adjust the correct variable. That accountability, it compresses the learning curve. It stops one bad day from becoming one bad month. And it forces you to face the truth before you waste another year repeating the same cycle. Your first action is simple. Use the link below this video and run your free physique code. Upload your photograph, enter your information, choose your goal, generate your personalized starting plan. Within approximately 2 minutes, you will have a clear estimate of where you are right now, where you need to go, how many calories you should start with, how much protein you need, how to structure your macros, and how to train towards your goal. Do not watch this video, feel motivated for 10 minutes and then return to guessing tomorrow. Run the numbers, save the plan, and after you receive your plan, I didn't tell you you can download the plan when you are running physique code. Save it. After you receive your plan, you will also have the option to book a call with me. At that call, we'll potentially look at your starting position. We're gonna see your goal, your biggest obstacles, and what has prevented you from achieving the results on your own. And if I believe I can help you, I'll explain how we could potentially work together. And if I do not believe my coaching is the right fit for you, I'll tell you straight up. And I'll point you towards the next best step in that case. So you're just getting clarity, you're not losing nothing. There is no pressure, no wasted time, but you need to take the first action. So right now, run your physique code using the link below. It's completely free. And if you want my AI meal tracking prompt, message me the word tracking on Instagram. I'm gonna send it to you. Your body is not going to change because you collected more information. It changes when you actually measure the right numbers, follow the plan, and stop negotiating with yourself. I'll see you in the next video.